Second half about to get underway in the 2019 QAFL Grand Final. And if you missed the first half, well, you missed one of the best first halves you will ever see in this level of football. It was outstanding, go for woe, tit for tat. And we officially go into the second half all square, 6-4-40 apiece. It set itself up for something magnificent as we head towards the final half of season 2019. Riley Star 8, Nick Davis with you this afternoon. And Nick, Surfers Paradise, they got the jump, but then the Lions in that second quarter came roaring back.
Yeah, Riley, they got the absolute dream start in that first quarter. Exactly the game plan Brad Moore would want to roll with. But then in that second term, we saw the class of Palm Beach Currumbin. We saw the lineup, the experience that's got them through the last two grand finals and shooting it so hard for a third. Now, of course, we've got Julian Vandendries down the boundary. We'll be with him very soon to engage on the crowd, and a couple of injury updates we need to find out first. But we're about to go into a massive second half. Riley, very quickly, what do you think is going to go down this third quarter?
Well, I think the legs at the moment for Surfers Paradise, they've got the more fit men on the ground. They've got so much run. It's just if they can sustain it. If they can, I can see them winning this grand final.
All right, we'll go down to the boundary now. Julian Vandendries down there. Jules, a quick injury update.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Yeah, most of the injuries are definitely with the Palm Beach camp. We saw Stevie Tyne, unfortunately the Sid Guildford medalist, go off with a knee. I don't think we'll see him again this afternoon. McNevin looks okay. He's had a dislocated finger. They're the main two, boys.
Well, of course, there's going to be some very sore bodies after this one. That's natural in grand finals, but we wish Stephen Tyne all the best. Of course, he'd love to be out there for his charges. Nick, this one has set itself up perfectly. We are in for what will potentially go down as one of the greatest grand finals in QAFL history. It's been a privilege to call it so far, and in about an hour and a half time, we're going to crown a premier. Will it be the Lions who win 3 in a row, or Surfers to win their first in 21 years? Nick Davis will get us underway in the third quarter.
So back again in the middle of the ground. Crode goes up at it, gets his footy out of the ruck. Very nicely done indeed. Askey gets it going forward. Right foot ball to the hot spot. Over the back of the pack. Anthony's lurking, getting dangerous. So too's Woolley. Left foot ball. Little chip away, not 15, not called. Got to kick long out of defence. They've got to be clever here, Surfers. Don't get the bounce they wanted. That didn't sit up for Cassidy Haberfield. Now it's turned over. Got to be the dream start for the Lions! Jason Burge! He saw the way it set up for him. It dropped perfectly and he drilled it through the Nerang River end of the ground. Perfect start for the Lions. They go to 7-4-46. 6-4 the Demons, 40 points.
Well, Brody Humberfield, he very rarely makes mistakes, but I reckon he made a bit of a blue there. To come out of your defence like that, unless you are absolutely sure of the target and the contact of the kick, you just can't do that. And I know the bounce was unlucky from a Surfers perspective, but any sort of error there, it was going to really cost him. And Jason Burge, he's not going to miss from 35 metres out on the run like that. He's such a clean user of the ball. And the Lions, well, they would have kicked the first goal of the game, but that's the first time they have been in front since about the 7 or 8 minute mark of the opening quarter. And it's a position they would love to find themselves to continue to stay in. Jewel won it down, but it's cleared away out of the clearance there for the Lions towards half forward. Crowley's pushed under it by Taylor. It goes towards the boundary. Hand pass in the field of play eventually is run out of bounds and will have a throw in. And of course, getting that clearance there was Tommy Tyne. You just feel his influence really start to creep into this one.
Well, Tyne and Haberfield have matched up on each other in the middle, and that's the matchup that we were looking at the start of the game. That one-on-one contest, whoever came out on top, you'd probably say their side would probably win this afternoon's clash. So as the ball goes up on the boundary, nicely taken out, little kick going forward, can't be taken through, but they've got running numbers, the Lions, got to be good here. Woolley throws himself at it, but a kick out of the pack. He's got it! Brockowski out of nowhere has put through the second of the term for Palm Beach, and they've skipped away to a nice little 12-point lead to start this second term. Only 2 minutes played third term, and the Lions 8-4-52. Surfers Paradise stunned at 6-4-40.
Well, that's the perfect start for Palm Beach. The Demons, they put the challenge down early. Now it's their turn to respond to the Lions' challenge. They've really started to get on top in the contest. Of course, they kicked the last 5, Palm Beach, since that Daniel Vanderwerken goal early stages of that second quarter. The Lions, they just start to really get on top, and it's around the ball as well. They start to get their clearance plays into the game. The Demons, they have to respond. They can't let this go out to too big a margin. They can't let the Lions sniff blood. It's back in the middle. Rucks go at it. Dual tapped Australian to Crowley's hands, who was then thrown off the ball from Matulis. Harrison fed it back on the hand pass. You just feel the Lions are really starting to get into this one. And Asti, who just kicked the most recent goal inside the forward 50 towards a 2-2. Anthony, the target, couldn't take it. Well done from the D's. Rankin goes right towards the middle of Metricon Stadium. No mark taken there from Eames. Troutman feeds it wide. McKenzie in the 100 sends it out towards the outer side, and here they come. Marsden inside the forward 50. That's a beautiful kick to Josh Woolley. Now he has got the leg from there if he wants to. He's about 55 metres out. He'll wheel around, gets to 52, sets it on its way. It's just to the right. I reckon the roof would have blown off Metricon if he kicked that one. 13 points the margin, 9-5 to 6-4. Danger side here for Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, they've come out hard and fast, the Lions, and really just peppering the goals at this point. The D's have been looking to try and use the middle of the ground. They want to try and own the corridor. Don't want to be forced wide, but right now Palm Beach is shutting down that option. So there's a lot of work to be done. They look to go inboard now. Spots up Nick Scott with a good ball. Need to link up a few of these. And that chip pass works very nicely. It's Yelland, who looks to switch it out wide. He kicks to, oh, he's got a man there. I thought it was going to be a one-on-one, but Rene Lefeur's got it going, and now they're out and away. Back to Albie Jones. Jones pumps it to centre half forward. 2-on-1. Stays down. Danny Green looks a little bit slow there. Thirst to the ball. Angus Munro has got numbers. And now they can settle it down. Good smother down there by Danny Green in his last game of footy. Hands over the top. Now it's Surfers' time to shine. Can he get away? Just couldn't get away. Van der Werken was legged. Hands back. Still not out of danger yet. Eames has to go back around. Goes back on the right foot. Sets it towards the hot spot. Still tapped down. Still an opportunity presenting itself. Wrapped up in a tackle with Zach Harrison. Footy's still not out yet. And now finally they can settle it down and it's marked.
Brilliantly called. Nico sends it towards the outer side. Derek, he'll find his target in McNevin, who I think after that frenetic bit of play is just content to hold it up. He's got Zach Harrison coming short. He presents it very nicely. There's a frenetic bit of play there about 30 seconds ago. Surfers looked like they were just trying to will a goal, but they couldn't. Troutman. Now he's got Conan in the goal square. He doesn't go there. Instead he goes to McNevin. Now McNevin will find Troutman. They've created two spares on the broadcast wing. The kick now to McCanch. McCanch has got the leading target short. That, of course, is Crowley. Doesn't go there. So he's just going to set it back, and they're content to play a bit of a possession game.
13 points the margin. So they can afford to chip it around a little bit and just try and hold a bit of this time. But that's not a good kick, and eventually the pressure just became too much. Well done, Surfers Paradise. And it's Thompson Smith who takes it in front of our central commentary position. So Thompson Smith just gets it going long again to the hotspot. They want to create a bit of pressure. Danny Green at the back, but just couldn't hold front position. Good intercept mark taken by Dirk Conan. That's 50 as well. Yeah, Green just stepping over the mark. He's not happy, Danny Green. The Lions will look to move this on. Conan, of course, part of the now very famous Conan sporting family. Sister Bree playing for the Lions in the AFLW. Other sister Cara will be playing in the Super Netball Grand Final on Sunday.
Conan sends it towards the wing position on the outer side. Harrison of the Zach variety goes short, finds his target. There's a good kick as well. It was to Burge. Burge goes down the line, finds Munro. Just a bit too much space at the moment for Palm Beach. Anthony the target. Great spoil away from Taylor. Woolley came in beautifully. They got bumped by Munro, who got a backhand pass towards the boundary. Now the kick is set up. It's all the D's though, and Hayden Keel, he had to take that because he had pressure coming from both sides. He did it very nicely.
So Keel now wants to push it wide to the wing. It's got to be good because there's Lions everywhere, but that was very well taken. So now they can try and set up again. Again, looking to try and get those short 45s back inboard. The options aren't there, so just going to have to push back out wide. So a little bit of a holding pattern for the D's as they go around the other way. Kicks along the far side of the ground, and now they've got some numbers. It's going to drop down onto the chest of Matthew Green, a long way from full forward, and that wasn't a good kick. That's really good pressure coming from Palmy, and we've got a pushing back play as well. So the umpire's called a whistle. Little ill discipline we just saw coming from Matulis, and it's going to be the Lions ball on half forward flank, and it looks like the recipient will be Nick Crowley.
So Crowley, that could really turn the momentum. 65 metres out, not the greatest of kicks. Well done there from Jewel. He's done it a few times this afternoon, Miles. Jewel Van der Werken takes a nice mark. But again, numbers are favouring the Lions here at half full, at their half back line, so he's got to go short. Oh, that's a good mark from Cassidy. Harrison came in very willingly. Haberfield Goes towards 70 metres out. Big pack of players. No mark taken. Troutman does it very nicely. Goes back to Munro. Munro towards the wing position. Matt Green's got to mark this. Oh, he doesn't mark it. And this actually lets the Lions in. Prestigar pulled off the ball from Askey. Green, he's then tied up. There's a couple of times this afternoon where Matt Green, he's just looked a little bit fumbly and unsure of himself.
Yeah, you'd have to agree. He's a long way out of position. He's forced to move himself up the ground a bit more. We've seen a lot of him in the ruck as well. And I think the pressure from the physicality of the Lions just around the contest, they're really going to try and go after him this afternoon. But he works his way to the front there, trying to take out of the ruck and spill to the front. The umpire, he's going to call a ball up. And Julian van der Dries has been a frenetic first couple of minutes here in this third term. We'll decompress for a second. What are your observations?
It has. Palm Beach have came out the way they finished that second term, haven't they? They've got the ascendancy and the crowd are starting to get behind them as well. Matthew Green's had such a good final series to date for the Demons, and they just look like they're putting a lot of pressure. They're targeting him at the moment.
So we're just waiting for that ball to come out. Paddy Rankin laid the tackle nicely there to force the stoppage on Tommy Tyne. Next goal massive in this one. You just get the feeling it's going to affect the outcome enormously. Yellen lays a strong tackle there on Dawson. And we'll do it all again virtually in the same spot. So if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, Demons got the start kick, 5-2 in that opening quarter, but the Lions have kicked the last 5 as it's fed out. Harrison sends it towards half forward. 2-on-2 contest. Demons have better position, comes off hands. They almost extracted Scott. He's got a case of the fumbles. Askey lays a strong tackle. Cornish, this could be massive. Derek, well, he just fumbled at the inopportune time. And it's over the boundary, right in front of the Palm Beach supporters. It's been a hot start from the Lions in this third quarter.
Yeah, you just get the feeling the Lions smell blood here. They turn up the heat, although they'll be down a rotation. Surfers have to remember that. They'll finish full of running.
So the crowd really starting to come into it. It's a 13-point ball game, and Queensland's to take it out of the ruck. It's picked off there by Dawson. He's got the bandage around the nose, really wrapped himself up. Flying attempt from Burge. Burge manages to get it back. Look at the Anthony direction, but they've double teamed in the Ds. Nicely done indeed. And it's Jack Taylor press hard against the boundary, and we've got a man down in back play. We'll get to it in just a second as the Ds try to escape down the commentary wing. Kicks to 2-on-1. Green reads it off the pack. He does that well. Just got to be clean with the footy now, the Demons. It's Yellen. Yellen gets it going forward. He's got a man out in front. Needs to sit well for him. It's beaten everyone, but LaFleur's coming. He's going to try and wrap him up against the boundary. The crowd want ball. Play on, says the umpire, and we're going to have a boundary throw in front of the Surfers Paradise faithful. That's 60 metres out from goal.
That player over there, just before we get back to the contest, Nicholas Harrison was the one that's gone down. He's been down for about 2 minutes. He's only just got to his feet now, Jules.
Liam McNevin, very fortuitous there not to be paid holding a ball. Great pressure there from young Lafleur.
Well, a massive crowd in this afternoon. You hope the umpires don't get too sucked in by either side as the ball comes back out. We've got a whistle coming out to hold. And it's going the D's way. It's going to Matty Green. So here's their chance. Little chip towards the pocket was very nice indeed. And spots up Dale Eames. He reckons he's too far out to score. He tried to get on his wheels straight away. Wanted to move it on. Palm Beach have been so good at flooding the defence this afternoon. They've cut off all the options. And now Eames is really going to have to try and manufacture something here. He's going to be kicking from about 52. He has a shot at goal. All the matchups really taken away from him. So he's just going to have to launch this one. The crowd will lift behind him. Eames, right footer. He's got onto it. He's got onto it! How about that, Dale Eames? He's kicked the 7th for the Demons, and the perfect response, and they're right back in at Surfers Paradise, 8-5-53. Trailing now only by 7 points, the Demons, 7-4-46.
Well, that's the second time we've seen a goal from that pocket there right in front of the Surfers faithful, and didn't we hear about it? Rapturous applause there by the red and the blue. Now, that put that goal down to the pressure from young Lafleur there. He came flying in, dispossessed McNevin, end up with a shot on goal there to Eames. Well done, good, great finish.
So the D's get the much needed goal for them. It stops a run of 5 straight goals for Palm Beach. It brings it back to 7 points the margin as shade starts to descend on Metricon Stadium. Back in the middle, Rucks go at it. Jewel wins it down, falls straight to Burge, couldn't get it away. Tyne does, it's eventually cleared from Derek. There's a whistle. It's a throw, it's gone against the Sid Guildford medalist. and Jewel is going to have the free kick in the middle.
This is a momentum shift again. You'll see numerous of these through the grand final today, and Surfers have the ascendancy at the moment as Kane Ford goes inside 50.
That he does. It doesn't come to anyone really. Well done from McNevin. He's played a brilliant game this afternoon. Sends it wide to Troutman. Now Troutman, he can just hold this. He's got an option presenting over the top if he wants to go. That was McBurney. Instead he held it up. And now he's just going to send it towards a 2-on-1 in favour of the Lions on this occasion. Good spoil away there from the back of the pack as it's gone over almost gone over the boundary. It's still in the field of play. And now it's going to be tied up. And we'll have a thrown right inside the boundary, about 65 metres out from the D's attacking goal.
You talked about that shade, Riley Star Ray, as it starts to cast the shadows of Metricon Stadium. We checked the temperature gauge at half time, and that sunlight, 29 degrees, so it is warm out there here on the Gold Coast. Metricon Stadium, your venue, and you spoke, Jules, about that momentum shift. It's a funny old thing. All of a sudden, they started so well, Palm Beach, and now they have to be the ones to settle it down.
Yeah, exactly right. And we see rapturous applause to our right when Surfers do something great, and far over to our left, the Palm Beach Currumbin camp try and outdo them. So at the moment, Surfers just with the upper hand, although still trailing.
And well done to both sides for their turnout this afternoon. Of course, Palmy and Surfers both played in the Rezzies. Palmy also playing in the under-18s grand final. So great turnout from both sides, and well done to AFL Queensland locking down Metricon Stadium as the grand final venue for the near future. As the ball comes back in, D's first to the footy, wobbly little kick, chaos ball, very well worked indeed. That was Troutman. He's been industrious in this third term, kick over the top of the pack. Demons first to the footy, nicely taken, clean by Miles Jewell. He looks down the wing and just a last-ditch little hand, just manages to keep the footy in contention, hands going forward. Troutman's going to have to get there again, and he sees it across the boundary line for a throw-in. Nearly 15 minutes gone in this third term. It's a 7-point ball game.
So this game has just gone up another gear, and it's tightened up once again. There's a lot of tales to be written left in this one as back comes the ball into play. Crode wins it down. Burge was pulled off. It didn't get a free kick. As the cheer of Surfers goes around Metricon, a further kick forward. Well done from the D's to cut it off forward. He's been very good this afternoon. Loops a nice hand pass back to Scott, who's approached from Askey, and he is gone.
Well, Brock Askey, that's what he gets paid to do. He's a magnificent forward pressure player. Great tackle, wrapping tackle there on Nick Scott, and Askey gets to use the ball. He's a long way from home. He'll look to hit up a target inside 50 here.
So Askey, he calls for players to approach him. He's got Anthony on a long lead towards the forward pocket. He's got to go up against 3. Well done from Jack Anthony to force the spoil. But Surfers, they were set up beautifully for that kick. They had around 4 players around that spot. They knew that was probably where it was going to go, Jules.
They were. Although great effort by Anthony there. He didn't concede that front spot. He got a fist to it and got the ball to ground. So forces a stoppage of ball in here for his side. So well done, Big Jack.
He kept very quiet this afternoon, Jack Anthony. They've done the job on him so far, but he can be so dangerous, and it goes down that direction now. This is the contest. This is the one-on-one we want to see. As Haberfield leading the race. He does that well to get out in front. Kicks it down to space. Watch where this one drops. No one will get there at first bounce. They want to get it going forward, the Demons. Nicely taken by the man with a finger just holding on by a thread, and McNevin still pushing forward. And wrapped up almost immediately. So neither team giving each other an inch at this point. To 16 and a half played third term.
So 7 points the margin. Next goal is massive. You just get the feeling that every one of these goals is just going to sway the momentum massively. Harrison, he's come back onto the ground. His kick goes straight to Munro, who will go wide. You'll find Emblem, and they've got numbers everywhere on the outer side. They find McCants. McCants can run. He's got about a paddock and more of a paddock ahead of him. He's got Cornish short. Instead goes further afield to Burge. That's what he does. Wheels around. 75 metres out. Steps inside to Jones. Goes inside. Troutman the target. Kicked it up off the half volley. Then fumbled at the inopportune moment. Gave it up nonetheless. Goes back. Harrison inside the forward 50. Woolley the target, couldn't quite take it. Zach Harrison, hand passes it back, fed to Munro. Munro approached by the Frenchman, then wrapped up, and it's tied up, and it will be called a ball up. And this has just been absolutely magnificent effort from both teams.
Hasn't it gone up a gear, boys? Just forward pressure right throughout the middle of the ground there. Neither team willing to give an inch. They know how important that next kick inside 50 is.
So ball back up in the middle is a strong tackle by Lefebvre as they go through again, not going anywhere. chance is so important. I thought they just maybe wasted it earlier, about 30 seconds ago, the Lions. They had a 2-on-1, but chose to go back inboard and slow the play down. So in a game like this, Jules, you have to take every single moment as the ball goes back up again. Spoiled immediately is Paddy Rankin, who just couldn't do anything with it. He tries to go for a second time, just busting his way through as Matty Green, but there are Lions absolutely everywhere. First to the footy was Crowley. He gets the hands going back. They're going to go long, courtesy of Troutman. Troutman looking for Anthony. Anthony couldn't get it. Just slips quickly there to Jesse Derrick. Now the cavalry arrive. Can they get something out of it? Numbers arrive from left, right and centre. Ball spilling around. Umpire lets it play on. Bustling his way through was Prestigar. He did that well. A crunch of bodies. Still going. Well umpired to let that footy go.
Great call there, Nico. Look, that ball, Brody Haberfield has been a superman for his team down there. Whether it comes in on the deck or in the air, you're just backing him to win that contest with Anthony at the moment.
Harrison wins it down, goes straight to Rankin. Rankin gets it towards the wing. Spoil from McNevin was very good. Troutman first there for the D's, immediately tackled from Corbett. And we'll have a ball up in front of the perfect position, the commentary position. Wherever you're watching, hope you're enjoying it. We've got feedback from all over Central Queensland, in and around Brisbane, the Gold Coast, internationally as well. Hope you're enjoying what has been a magnificent grand final. Ford wheels around, gets a little bit of space, sends it forward. Not the greatest of kicks. Well, Crowley misjudged it. Green, can he exert himself? Sends it long, good kick. No mark taken from Thompson Smith, could have been a chop. Didn't get it, a free kick. Emblems bumped as he kicked it, and it's a downfield free. And they're not too happy about the treatment, but Palmy have got the free kick just forward of centre.
Big play. Read that footy really well, Emblem, to cut that one off and got the rebound. Although the kick inside 54, Palm Beach was turned over as well.
Yeah, just can't seem to just settle it at either end of the ground. So real back and forth stuff at the moment. It's now a war of attrition. Who will break the other first? 7-point ball game as the D's look to open up some space on the wing. Can he turn his man? He does. That was well done by Eames, but now he has to arrive. Beaten to the contest there by Conan. Now a nice little snap by Tommy Tyne. He's found the man just forward of centre wing. This is the opportunity. They need to make the most of this moment here. Cornish, right foot ball, looks inside of the top of the forward 50. Askey, he can turn and burn. Looking in the Anthony direction, in the Woolley direction. Woolley bumped off the play, was he? No, not called. Umpire said nothing wrong with that. And now Harrison, he's wrapped up. The crowd, they're right into this now. And we've got a whistle finally, and it's going Surfers Paradise's way.
For a hold against Anthony Nico, Jules.
Jack Taylor just saved his team a goal then, boys. That kick from Askey was perfect out into the fat side, into the space. Taylor willed himself to get a hand on that footy and saved his team a goal.
Harrison towards the wing position, 2-on-3 contest in favour of the D's. Thompson Smith got a hand to it. Fraser just keeps it in, but it was inopportune. Marsden, well, he's tackled, almost holding the ball. He's holding the ball, so it's going to go the Demons' way. And this is a real opportunity for the D's. We've ticked in the time on, 7 points the margin. Sent towards half forward the kick, not the greatest. Spoil at the back affected the contest nonetheless. Hand pass almost fed out, not done quite. Socket off the ground towards the boundary. First there for the Demons should be Fraser. Well done from Marsden to get there. Lefeur's there as well. McBurney's tackled. Well done from Lefeur to tie it up. Time on. Third quarter, the premiership quarter. It's anyone's game, Jules.
Isn't it high quality stuff, boys? It's a treat to watch here at Metricon Stadium this afternoon. Both teams not giving an inch. Some real skills on display. I mean, the foot skills at the moment have gone up a level. The pressure's gone up a level. Great to watch.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff, just can't break each other's lines at the moment. There's Askey, Industrious down at the bottom of the pack, but they've shoveled it out, the Demons. And now here's their chance. They've fallen down at this part of the ground. Works his way over the back of the pack. Now they've got an option. Just got to be clean with the footy. Vanderwerken can't quite pick it up. The Lions arrive, but they're still not out of danger. Vanderwerken gets there. Daniel Green gets there. Wins at the footy. Hands over the top. Green in his last game, his very last game, and the ball goes over the line for a boundary throw in. 40 metres out from the D's goals. They trail by 7, and they need this next one so desperately, Jules.
Just couldn't get a handle on that one. Poor Dan Vanderwerker was the feet were moving too quick, and all of a sudden it went behind him, Riley.
So next opportunity here for the D's. Tapped over the top from Jewell. Couldn't quite extract it. Well done, Mackenzie. He got the clearance. Askey couldn't take it. Contest coming up. Woolley was pushed over. Askey does well to at least tie it up. He's seen it a bit today. Burge falls to Matulis. Matulis gets the hand pass. Jewell inside the forward 50 emblem there, standing in the hole. Couldn't take it. Falls to the bottom of the pack. Calls for it. Polling the ball is on it, and it's going to go the way of Palmy. Well done, Zach Harrison. And he'll send it towards the half-back line, and he finds McKenzie, who will go over the top to Crowley.
But the kick just finds Crowley. I thought that could have been a waste opportunity, but Crowley was put under the pump, and now Harrison mops it up. Harrison goes inside looking for Matthew Green. But the defence of this Palm Beach outfit on their very last line has been so strong. And he chips across and he finds McNevin, who's put under the pump immediately. And a minor score is signalled by the umpire, so maybe just a professional rush there to get out of danger.
Munro. The D's were lucky there that he fumbled because they had 3 players on this broadcast wing all open. Burge, half volley. He's content to see it out of play. You just wait for the throw in. Jules, you were a leader so long in your football career. What do you tell your troops now when you're in this situation?
Yeah, you just call for calm across each line. It's not just one person out there, Riley. You have a leader on each line, just making sure things are set up well and preparing for anything that comes at you until you get back in for a break.
Dawson laid the tackle on Fraser. It could have been high, but wasn't played. So we'll go at it once again. Harrison of the Jet variety wins it down. Matulis immediately tied up by Tyler Cornish. And we'll have a stoppage basically in the same spot.
And don't discount the fatigue that's going to come into the contest as well. As we said, really hot day. Tough finals campaigns for both of these sides. So we can see the skills starting to drop a bit. The pressure goes up. This is what you want on grand final day. Askey just runs over the top of it, but gets his own footy back. Well, I tell you what. Now, I reckon he got a little bit hurt in that tackle.
I think he might have just clipped
just something, a little clip. I don't think anything untowards, but he didn't respond quickly to the second chance of that footy. Nothing untoward, as we said, but he's not looking okay from that contest, Brock Askey.
So back at the game, Jewel wins it down just. Fraser over the top forward, gets away from Crowley, sends it towards the forward 60-metre area. Oh, what a mark from Emblem. There's a free kick. It is going the way of Emblem. The umpire initially pointed the other way, but Jackson Emblem, he has been so good this afternoon, and he's done that so often in his career.
Yeah, contested mark of the highest quality there, Jacko Emblem. He's been doing that for 10 years at the lines.
So Emblem just banged it down the line. But the D's, they've picked it off again, but they just need to break this forward 50. Back to Ford. Ford goes back inside. He's got a mark presenting up, and that's well taken out in front. Looks to go on the inside, but turned over and spilled. Just wasn't the right option, but we just saw down there on the boundary. Troutman there in the interchange gates. He actually put pressure on from the other side of the line. I don't know how legal that is. I don't know how illegal that is. So he's done pretty well there, Troutman.
So back in the field of play. We ticked over 25 minutes, third quarter. Crowley, tackle from Matulis, still gets a kick away. Prestigar, Matulis, he's been a lion-hearted player this afternoon. Rankin ducked in the tackle, got the hands away. Fraser tackled by 2, one of them Cornish. He picked it up, somehow got out of there, did it beautifully. Now it's sent forward from Crowley. It's all the D's. And Miles Jewell, he has, when he's had to go this afternoon, he's been magnificent.
So Miles Jewell just feeling the heat from the Palmy Army. Kicks long down the line. Now they've got a number over the back. Takes on the man there. Does Hayden Keel. But they've got demons everywhere. This is their chance. Low ball to Green. Can't quite be picked up. Lines falling everywhere. Bodies left, right and centre. Now they can turn it over. But Surfers Paradise still keeping themselves in it. Harrison, Fraser, they're just pushing. They're just working each other. Prestigar gets to it. Gets it going forward. Wobbly kick should be taken out in front. Not taken. Now the D's arrive. Lefebvre, hands over the top. Here comes Hayden Keel! He's nailed it! Hayden Keel with a massive goal has tied the scores up. He's kicked his second of the afternoon.
Amazing stuff there. Every contest is highlighted at the moment, boys. There's eyes on every contest, on every player at the moment. Now, great job, can I just say, by the umpiring there. They're letting things go. We're just seeing the very obvious free kicks, and this is why we're getting such a high-quality, freewheeling contest at the moment.
To this point, this is the greatest QAFL Grand Final in a long time. And there's just so much more of it to go. 27 minutes gone, third quarter. These sides are not giving an inch. They are not taking a backwards step. They are running into each other like they used to in wars back in the Trojan years. It's absolutely unbelievable as the roar for Palmy and Surfers goes up around Metricon Stadium. It's 8-5 apiece as back in the middle, Crode and Thompson-Smith will go to battle once again. There's the bounce from umpire Wetton. It's a good one on this occasion. Crode wins it down, but he's immediately tackled. Thompson Smith tried to extract. Smatoulis, he got the soccer, feeds it further back to his teammate there. Then Scott sends it towards half forward. No mark taken from Ings. Well done from Troutman. He's been one of the best for Palmy this afternoon. Good composed kick. And he finds Zach Harrison right on the interchange gates.
Yeah, Troutman just breaking the ankles of his opponent there. Great skill late in this third term. Is he going to get it going down the line? Harrison looking for Anthony, who comes through, and that was a little bit crude, but not called by the umpire. They wanted a free kick there, the D's. But just coming in, it was Miles Jewell who copped it a bit from Anthony. Feeling the heat, feeling the pressure. 28 minutes gone, Jules.
Courageous stuff, Miles Jewell there. Just stood his ground, knew what was coming, did well, hard the contest.
Crowley got the hand pass away. Tyne feeds it up. Askey over the top with the hand pass. Demons surround. Derek sets it in. Oh, there's Lions everywhere. They raffled it between themselves. Couldn't take it. Jones has got Lafleur on the half-back flank. Now he's got a bit of leg speed. If he wants to go, he doesn't. It's very wise as well. Munro was approaching. And Marsden went into the hole. Well done from the Frenchman. He just holds up the play and then he'll just go short. Good kick as well. And he finds his teammate there at the half-back flank in Albie Jones, who will go down the line with the kick. And it's a good mark taken as well at three-quarter time. Fellas, it was tied at half-time. It is tied at three-quarter time. This is set up for an all-time grandstand, worm-burning, rip-snorting finish. Nick Davis.
I tell you what, you got the adjectives flying there, Riles, but couldn't agree more. 8-5 apiece. We are no closer to knowing a winner than we were 30 minutes ago, but it's now a war of attrition. Both of these sides just end-to-end stuff at the moment. What can they give? Even the umpires are going down with cramp at this point. It's warm out there. They'll go into their huddles now. Now, Jules, you've been out there on this day several occasions. What's each side saying to each other? What does the coach say? How do you get your players to lift and go again?
Yeah, there's no going away from your original plan now, guys. It's just get in, the coach reinforces what you've been doing well, a couple of things to fix up here and there, and then it's just all about effort. It's about pressure for the last 30 minutes.
We'll just run you through the goals quickly, ladies and gentlemen. First for the Lions 2, the Jack Anthony singles the rest of the way to Askey, Crowley, Derek, Woolley, AJ Dawson, Jason Burge, as Ivor Tiger goes on in the background. And then for the Demons, 2 to Hayden Kill, 2 to Harrison Fraser, 1 to Dan Green in his last game, 1 to Daniel Vanderwerken, and 1 to Albie Jones.
Well, what will we see in this final term? Will Daniel Green be sent home a hero? Will Palm Beach wrap up their third grand final in 3 years? We'll be back after a very short break as the 2019 QAFL Grand Final live from Metricon Stadium. The best two teams all season, head to head. They are even, Stephen. We'll be back with you very shortly.
Just say 3,000, I reckon.